Hello, folks. I wanted to welcome you once again. My name is Coach Shanelle. If you are new to me, I am a success coach, a speaker, and a four-time author. What I do is I help women to level up and live a better life. I offer coaching, online training, and in-person events to help women to build confidence, to crush their goals, and to boost their income. What I'm going to be talking about today on the channel is 7 things confident women do differently. Again, 7 things that confident women do differently, right? So a lot of women who come to me for coaching will say that they know that they want to build their confidence, but a lot of times they don't necessarily know what they want that to look like, right? So they may have noticed that their confidence isn't as high as it should be, mainly because of one particular area in life. Maybe they just don't feel within themselves that they have the confidence that they need, or they may have seen a trait in somebody else that they kind of want to mirror. So maybe they know that they're not confident in, like, for instance, public speaking. We have a lot of people who aren't comfortable speaking in front of people, or even, whether it be virtual now, because we're in that spot, right? Or in person, and they start to clam up. And so they might come for confidence in that area. What we oftentimes find is after we do some coaching, we find out that they also usually lack confidence in some other areas as well, right? And so what I wanted to show you was to illustrate what is the difference that in some things that confident women do, so that you can see what the distinction is, right? And I hope this video is helpful. This video may be helpful to you if you are trying to build your confidence right now and you're just trying to get a visual picture of what confidence looks like. This video may be helpful to you if you're trying to pick up some tips on how to build your confidence and want to concentrate on some certain attributes that you can focus your attention on. This video may be helpful to you if you, for the most part, still feel very confident, but maybe there's some ways in which you notice in certain areas you might be lacking as much confidence in, and there's some things that you want to work on internally to build that confidence in yourself. And this video may be helpful to you if you are starting a new venture, maybe a new business, or maybe a new position at work, and maybe you're doing an interview or a pitch session and want to make sure that you come across as a confident person. Sometimes people can actually have that confidence on the inside, and maybe sometimes their body language may not communicate that so much. And so that may be something that you may also want to work on as well. With that being said, I do want to go ahead and roll into our video. I don't want to keep you folks too long. So let's go ahead and get started, okay? All right, so again, we're talking about 7 things confident women do differently. And let's start right at the top with number 1. All right, number 1 is confident women know what they want, right? Okay, what I can tell you is one thing that is a big pet peeve of mine is when you go into a negotiation and you have different people at the table, and comes time for the woman, another fellow woman, to speak. And when it comes time to define her terms, that she really isn't clear on what she wants, right? And you can tell that her confidence isn't coming across in her pitch, that she doesn't seem assertive in the way in which she's speaking. She doesn't come across very clearly in her communication, and she does not understand her terms, right? And so oftentimes, we just did a video on asking about what it is that you want and how to get it. So if that is a problem for you to be able to actually articulate what it is that you want, I do suggest that you go and watch that video, because it actually outlines some steps in which to do that. But you need to know what you want and be willing to ask for it, and if you're planning on actually achieving it in life, right? And so what oftentimes happens is people get really frustrated they're not in a certain spot in life, or they get frustrated that they're not achieving certain goals, but they're not really clear on what it is that they actually want, right? And it's most often that you're not going to get what you want if you don't really know what that is or what it looks like, right? And I'm not saying that you won't go through a period of self-discovery where you may be saying, I only know where my end goal is, but I don't know the steps. I'm saying, do you have an overall picture of where it is, what it is that you want? And do you understand what the goals are before you? Because if you don't, you'll just kind of wander back and forth or stumble in place, right? And we don't want that. And so confident women, one thing that you will notice about them is that they know what they want. They're able to actually communicate that. And it comes across not just in their speech, but it comes across in their posture, comes across in even if they're doing email and writing, oftentimes it comes across in that way. And they talk with a lot of passion about the things that they want and that they feel are in alignment with their skill set and where they're headed. And so one thing that you can definitely notice right off the bat with confident women is that they are very clear on what they want. And along with that, what also comes along with knowing what you want is also knowing what you don't want, right? And why do we need to know the difference? We need to know the difference because that is how we establish boundaries. That's how we decide what we can say no to. That's how we decide where we spend our time. That's where we decide where we put our energy. That's where we decide what kind of actions we want to take and what our goals are up ahead. And if you're not clear on where you're headed and where you want to go, then it's oftentimes that you'll get stuck in all the other spots, right? So you will notice that you spend too much time overcommitting yourself, right? And so you're pulling a bunch of different directions and none of them are necessarily something that you're passionate about. Or maybe there's certain things that you have just a minute or a small amount of interest in, and those are draining you so much because you're doing so many of them. Maybe you're a bit of a people pleaser, have that sort of tendency to try to make others happy, and so you don't actually put your own interests out in front of you and make decisions based on that, but you're constantly trying to please others. Therefore, you end up saying yes to a lot of things that you really in your heart don't really want to do. It also helps you to find opportunities that are in alignment with what you are, where you are, and what your internal focus is to make sure that you take advantage of opportunities, right? But you need to be clear first on what it is that you want, right? So our number one, which is very, very important, is to know what you want, right? Okay. Our second one is they know that mistakes will happen, right? Okay, so one thing I can tell you is nobody gets it right 100% of the time, right? And I feel like we spend so much time, especially as women, is downing ourselves on things that we didn't do correctly, things that took some additional time, things that might have been some stumbling blocks, but we spend so much effort and energy getting down on ourselves because of the shoulda, coulda, woulda is what I call it. The things that you felt like you should have done, the things that you could have done if things had gone differently, the things that you would have done if you had different information. The truth is, we have to do the best that we can with what we have right now, using the skills and resources that we have available to us. And as we learn and grow, we'll continue to be able to know better and do better, right? But mistakes will happen along the way, right? And not just mistakes, failures will also happen along the way. One thing I think that is one of my favorite quotes is that failure is proof that you've been trying, right? Mistakes are opportunities for you to learn, right? You need to pace yourself and you need to learn and grow along the way, right? And so give yourself the time and the space and that it takes to complete that process and trust the process to get you there, right? But you need to understand that mistakes are going to happen and to be willing and able to continue to try, even if you sometimes fall, right? And it's about having the courage to get back up again and continue on. And hopefully you'll start to continue on with the same energy level as which you started. It doesn't mean sometimes you may not be disappointed, but it's about understanding and realizing that this is just a part of the process and not the overall mood or the overall story of your life, right? It's just a moment. These things happen and it's a part of your journey, right? And so we all don't need to get it right today. We all don't need to finish the process today, right? So give yourself some time and give yourself some credit for you participating, showing up, and getting it done, right? And so confident women, they know that mistakes will happen, right? And they don't let it prevent them for taking advantage of opportunities and for trying new things, right? And so that is our number two, knowing mistakes will happen. All right, number three, confident women will ask for help, right? So this goes along that line set of saying we don't all get it right all of the time, right? We all don't know it all, and we don't need to know it all, right? And one thing that I will say that really stands out to me, especially when I started my business and I started to go into a hiring process and doing interviews with people, is I would always ask them about, an issue that went not so well and what ended up happening as a result of it and how they remedied it. And then when people say things like, I don't make mistakes, or they made it seem like in the scenario that they were correct, and that the person just didn't understand. It was kind of a red flag for me personally, because I really like to work with people who hold themselves accountable, right? And I like to work with people who, if they get into a tough spot, that they're willing and able to ask for help, right? It's very easy for you to overwhelm yourself trying to do it all and knowing that none of us really has the capacity to do that, right? And so people are here and we all have different skill sets and strengths. And what ends up happening is, I believe personally, just coming from a spiritual perspective, that God gave us each talents, and our talents are meant to work in collaboration with other people, right? And so you were designed to be connected to other people. Why? So that we can celebrate each other, so that we can work together, that we can learn from each other, and so that we would all balance each other out, right? And so when you are denying the right to ask for help, you're also holding somebody else back from their greatest parts and sharing that with you, right? And so when you try to control the dynamic and you're trying to do it all the time and do everything by yourself, what ends up happening is, one, you spend way more time than you would have spent if you were able to either collaborate with somebody or to outsource it, right? So there's that energy that's just been wasted in time. Oftentimes, you may even also spend additional money trying to get it done because you may have to do it multiple different times, right? The third is that you start to get overwhelmed, right? And so you start to realize that it's getting to you because it's taking you way longer than what it was if you had asked and let somebody in. When we ask for help, what we do is give somebody the opportunity to step in and to show up, right? And we want to be able to do that and let them to be able to show their skill set and to help us when we're in a spot where we could really use that, right? And so confident women know how to ask for help, right? And they're assertive and they are upfront and do so, right? And so that is definitely one thing that I have noticed with confident women is they do know how to ask for help, right? And they're willing and able to do it, and you'll see that they collaborate quite often. All right, so that was number three, to ask for help. We are rolling right along. We're on number four, and this one is one of my favorites. They practice gratitude, right? And so confident women know to be thankful for what it is that they have, and they practice gratitude on a consistent basis, right? And so, why do we do gratitude practice? Is because it allows us to see the world through a clearer lens, right? So when you have some moments, especially when it's not going so well, when you start to look on the bright spot, you'll start to notice that your perspective will change, right? When you start to practice gratitude, it allows you to see a more balanced view of where you are at the current moment, right? So you'll start to notice, although there's some parts in your day that may not necessarily be going so well, there's also some bright spots as well. Although it may seem like you're in a rough patch and it may even be a rough day, that's not the whole story of the week, of the month, of the year, of the life, right? And so gratitude allows you to center yourself. It allows you to come from a more positive frame of mind. It allows you to focus on the good and allows you to put everything into alignment and get a complete and a whole view of the current situation, right? And so practicing gratitude is one of the things, if you're not already doing it, that can drastically change your mindset and allow you to move forward and to see the world in a much better positive mind frame. And so gratitude practice is very important. And so confident women, one of the things that they do differently is to practice gratitude, right? And that is our number four. All right. Our number five is confident women know their worth. Now, I know some people really get frustrated by that statement, the whole idea of knowing your worth. What do I mean by that? What I mean by knowing your worth is that they understand and value their skill set. And they understand that their skill set is marketable, and they understand that there is a certain level that they will not accept, whether that being accepting and having a certain tolerance for professionalism or a standard of excellence when they do work. It could also mean that they value it at a certain price point, right? And so, confident women, one of the things that I will say that I have noticed is that they know their worth, and that because they know their worth, they're able to establish some better boundaries, right? And so they know if they have a level of excellence and they want very high quality work, then they don't partner with people who can't deliver that, right? So you won't see a person who really demands a standard of excellence working with somebody who just is all over the place and unprofessional. If they know their worth and they feel like they are a high ticket item and that they can offer and bring that value, they tend to not work with somebody who has a bargain basement sort of budget perspective, right? And I'm not saying either of those things is good or not, but I'm saying understanding your worth allows you to make different decisions, and it allows you to say what is a good fit for you and what's in alignment with your brand, your skill set, and what you consider to be your worth in terms of talent, in terms of quality and core values, and it allows you to really make some hard decisions, right? And so you start to look at opportunities from a different lens and starting to see if it's a really good fit for you, right? I've also found that a lot of confident women, because they know their worth, they're not constantly looking for validation from other people, right? And so they have that internal feeling of worth and worthiness. And so they're not looking for other people all the time to validate themselves, right? And so they feel and know their worth even if they don't get a lot of likes on social media. They know and feel their worth even when they start something that may be controversial, that may be a little different than the norm. And they're willing to deal with some opposition because they want to be a trailblazer. They know their worth, and so they may not always pay attention to what other people's feedback is or criticism is, because they feel strongly enough within themselves that they don't need the validation of other people, right? And so that's where it really comes a lot, oftentimes into play, is just having that sense of self-worth where you don't accept less than the best, right? And so confident women, one of the things that they do get right is that they know their worth, right? All right. And so that was our number five, and we're moving on to number six. Our number six is confident women celebrate others, right? Okay, this one I'm so passionate about. Women, why can't we work together? Why can't we celebrate others? Why can't we clap for the next girl boss who's gotten it done? Why can't we show up for our sisters, right? And I'm not saying that from a critical standpoint. I'm just saying I've noticed so often that women feel like they have to compete with each other. They have to tear each other down. They have to point out others' flaws. It's so much better and so much stronger when we work together. I'll tell you what, if you get some women who get into a room, can find common ground, and collaborate, you will have one of the strongest alliances that you've ever seen. Women have a very powerful and intrinsic value that they bring to the marketplace. And oftentimes, what ends up happening is we've been given all these messages that we have to compete with others. And so we don't end up taking advantage of opportunities and leveraging those things to collaborate, right? And so, if you aren't already doing that, make sure that you take an opportunity to celebrate others, right? It may not be your time, right? And I don't know who I'm talking to, but this message is for somebody. It may not be your time right now. Maybe you're seeing a lot of people's brands take off. Maybe you're seeing them showing these screenshots where they're making tons of money. You might see them on the stage, and maybe they had stages where they've been in big crowds, right? Now, maybe they may not be showing in front of big crowds because of the current climate, but maybe they're selling out their Zoom seminars. Whatever it is that they're doing, don't let their success in some way make you feel like you are not doing enough, right? We all have our own journey and we all have our own pace to get there. And it's very important for you to understand that you need to really celebrate the others who have come before you and who have done the darn thing, right? And when your time comes, you're going to want somebody to celebrate you, right? And so, even if you're not in that spot where you feel like you may be the most successful, it's important for you to really clap for others, right? To celebrate others, to congratulate others, because there is something that it does for you. It allows you to see things from a balanced point of view. It allows you to look at things from a positive frame point. And then once you start to be happy for other people, and you start to celebrate others, you'll notice that your attitude is a lot more positive, right? And you'll start to see things from a different viewpoint. If you're constantly looking at others and comparing yourself to them, if you're constantly feeling like you're in a competition with them, you'll start to put way too much strain on yourself. You'll not start to see people as potential allies, as potential collaborators, as All right, and our last one, I'm sorry, our connection went out for a bit. Our last one is to be persistent, and this is number 7. Uh, number, se- number 7, um, confident women tend to be very persistent, right? And so they don't take no for an answer. They tend to take more risks because they believe that they are able um, to uh, to take advantage of opportunities. They believe that they, are, for the most part, will be successful, and so they tend to be more persistent than the others, right? And so one of the things that confident women tend to do better than others is that they tend to be persistent, right? And so that's about having the ability to stick through things, even when it's not always the easiest, being willing to start things from the ground up and do things differently, being willing to be a trailblazer if that is the case, understanding that a no is not a final and all end all answer, and that they can keep continuing to achieve and do things differently, and also being willing to get back up again after failures, right? And so it's that stick-to-itiveness that a lot of confident women have that people admire so much, because they continue to show up even in the face of adversity, even when there are challenges, even when they face failure and had mistakes, they continue to be persistent, right? And so you are going to miss every shot that you didn't take, right? And so you have to be able to get to a point where you believe in yourself and you're willing to take the risk and to move forward, right? And so I do want to go ahead and close this out. I'm going to review things really quickly. Our first was confident women know what they want, right? Our number 2 was confident women know mistakes happen. Our number 3 was confident women ask for help. Our number 4 is confident women practice gratitude. Our number 5 is confident women know their worth. Our number 6 is confident women celebrate others. And our number 7 is confident women are persistent. All right, I hope that this broadcast was really helpful to you. Again, for folks who are new to me, my name is Coach Shanelle. I'm a success coach, a speaker, and a 4-time author. I'm very passionate about helping women to earn more and to live a better life. What I do is I provide coaching and training designed to help women to level up, to live a better life. The areas that we work on is confidence building, is crushing goals, and boosting income. If you're interested in a coaching session, I am going to go ahead and put my link up right here, and it is on the screen. It's also in the information found for this video. If you're interested, please go ahead and book a session, and I'd be happy to work with you. And through those sessions, we're able to work on those key areas that I've mentioned in confidence building, in boosting income, and also in crushing goals, goal setting and achievement. All right, I do want to let you guys know before I go, there is a promotion that our company is offering for the month of March. The promotion it's called the Ready for More bundle. It includes the Ready for More workbook, which is set to provide a 60-day faith journey to a better life and stronger you. This particular workbook, it takes you through the journey of understanding where you are and where you might have lost your confidence, how to build confidence, how to build a better standard for communication, how to work on your core values and determine a better mission for your life, how to set goals and to hold yourself accountable to those things, how to set boundaries as well. It provides activities, reflection, prayer, and also some additional things to strengthen you and motivate you along the process. Although we do determine that this book should take you about 60 days to work through the different activities, it is self-paced. So if you need to take additional time for reflection or to work on key areas, you're able to do so. In addition to the workbook, this particular bundle will include some note cards, a pen, a highlighter, access to an accountability Facebook group so that you can have that ongoing accountability to hold you to your goals and to keep you moving forward. It also, in addition to that, has some goal setting a worksheet so that you can actually write down your goals and keep track of those things. That price for the month of March is $25. After March, we will go up to full price. So if that is something you're interested in, I ask that you please go ahead and do that, because we will not offer this rate again. I am going to go ahead and put that rate here up on the screen. This is where you go. This is the link to purchase your Ready for More bundle that is mailed to you. And again, this promotion will only be offered for the month of March. Feel free to go ahead and grab Workbook for yourself, or if you feel like it is better for one of your friends or family members, please go ahead and gift that to them. With that being said, I am going to go ahead and close us out again. Thank you so much for gathering here and tuning in. My name is Coach Shanelle. I look forward to speaking with you soon. I wish you much love and success until we meet again. Take care, folks. Bye.